Hello and welcome to Meditate with Nate. My name is Nate and I'm excited to be back with you. So today I have a new meditation for you, and I also wanted to share a little bit more meditation research. I wanted to share with you a few warm-ups you can do to help you meditate more comfortably. Sometimes meditation can be hard on your back or your knees, and it can be uncomfortable and a distraction. So I'll show you some warm-ups that we can do together. I want to share with you an app that you can use to time your meditations, something that I use, which is really helpful. So if you're ready, let's jump right in. So first of all, I wanted to share some research that I found in Mindful Relationships, 7 Skills for Success by Dr. Grace Bullock. This is a really excellent book, and she's done an incredible job of researching meditation and mindfulness in a lot of different areas. A quote here is, meditation and brain-related changes. During the last several decades, contemplative neuroscience, certain neuroscientists have explored how mindfulness practices like meditation may alter brain structure and connectivity and enhance mental function. And I'll link to the research that goes along with this. She's done a great job of referencing all her claims and showing the research with meditation and mindfulness. The more often we perform a task, the stronger the connections between neurons become. It's sort of like exercising your bicep. The muscle grows bigger and stronger with repeated use. Unlike your muscles, however, networks in the brain are capable not only of increasing in size, but also of changing function, depending on how they're used. You've probably heard the expression, neurons that fire together, wire together. So basically, that's a simple way of saying that the efficiency and strength of neural connectivity depends on our behavior. So frequently employed brain regions through consistent repetitive exercise show greater cell density, increased connectivity, and efficiency with consistent use. So this applies to both positive and negative thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. So the more we do something, whether it's positive or negative, the stronger and the better we get at it. So focusing on something positive or neutral can have a really beneficial effect on our brains. Regular meditation practice is linked with improved learning, memory, and increased self-awareness. A study of 16 adults following an 8-week mindfulness-based stress reduction, or MBSR, course demonstrated increases in gray matter in the brain regions associated with perspective taking, emotion regulation, learning, memory, and self-referential processing. Participants also reported feeling less stress. Well, there you have it. There's some science behind why we meditate. So we're not just sitting here doing nothing. It actually can have profound effects and changes in our brain. And this is the brain that we take everywhere, and it's the lens through which we experience our reality. So it's really worth spending some time to get more connected and to be able to focus better. We can apply these things to everything else that we do. So let's do some warm-ups before we meditate. And sitting, again, can be really tricky, especially if you're trying to sit on the floor. I'm using cushions, and later I'll show you some different cushions you can use, but just a couple of pillows do the trick. You want them to be pretty thick. They can go all the way up to maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 inches, so you can really prop yourself up. If you start sitting just on the floor, what happens is pretty soon you start collapsing. It's really not easy to maintain good posture without a cushion. So let's do some warm-ups, and you can also use your cushion for your knees if that is more comfortable. So this is a simple cat and cow warm-up from many yoga practices. They use this. Basically come into a table stance with your shoulders over your wrists. If that's hard on your wrists, bring them more forward to decrease the angle and pressure on your wrists. Hips above your knees. You can have toes down or toes out. And cat and cow, you're basically focusing on the thoracic region, below the neck and to about mid-back. So round your back, exhale. And curl it, arch it, inhale. So back and forth a few rounds, exhale up, cat, inhale to cow. Let your shoulder blades kind of slide down and your sit bones back here tilt up. So you're not focusing so much on lower back. You can think of the pelvic tilt. A couple times, back and forth. Exhale. Inhale. Also make sure not to crane your neck. Don't crunch the back of your neck. So warming up your spine, your lower back. Okay, now another version is called the barrel roll. So you kind of keep your hands and knees where they are, but you roll up, sideways, forward and down. Maybe hard to see from the side, so it's okay to bend your elbows. So you kind of roll as you do your cat and cow. And then backward. Okay, nice. Now you can obviously do more warm-ups if you like, and doing something for your core or to strengthen your back can be really good. We'll add some more warm-ups in future videos. So next, find a comfortable seat. I suggest some cushions, and feel free to do this just sitting in a chair if you like too. Now, cross-legged is comfortable for me, but it's certainly not for everyone. So you can always stretch out if you like. Now we're going to do a 10-minute meditation, and there's an app that I use that's free. It's called Insight Timer, and I'll put a link in the notes there. And it gives a nice little bell sound when you start, and when you finish also you can do a bell sound. So that'll help us keep track of time. And what we're going to do is a very simple meditation. For 10 minutes, all you're going to do is count your breath. So as you inhale, you exhale, that will be 1 count. Inhale, exhale, 2 counts, and so on. So it's not a race, you're not trying to go fast or slow, but in 10 minutes, you'll just notice how many times you breathe. And it might change day to day. In fact, it most likely will. I like to think of the mind and meditation as kind of like you have a puppy on a leash. So the puppy on the leash is just running around, right? It's going to sniff this and it's going to bark at that, and it's just kind of constantly stimulated and reactive. So that's why you have a leash, so it doesn't run into traffic or bite somebody or whatever, go off track. Now, the leash doesn't really change the nature of the puppy. It's going to be a puppy, it's going to keep doing that, but you can shorten it. If you have a mile-long leash, it really does nothing, right? So meditation can be a way of like shortening the leash, pulling it in. So if you have a 6-foot leash, your puppy is still going to run around, but it's not going to go too far. So meditation is like that. Your mind's going to wander, but this count will bring it back. It'll wander, it'll bring it back. And so the counting your breath is effective because there's a pretty consistent frequency of coming back. Every breath, you have to come back. You have to count to the next one. So you might still have background thoughts going, but you probably won't get as far off track. So if you're ready, we'll just do 10 minutes, find a comfortable seat, and you're just going to count your breath. And when we get done, you can post in the comments what number you got, and any other sharing, any comments, any realizations or questions, feel free to write those too. So when you hear the bell, we'll begin. Welcome back. That's our bell. So my breath count was 61. Please write your breath count in the comments. Doesn't matter if it seems like it's fast or slow. Every day it's going to be a little bit different. You may have noticed my cell phone actually rang in the middle of our meditation there. One thing I like about the breath count meditation is you can turn off your phone or, open a window or even go use the bathroom and you can still keep your breath count going. It's actually a little bit more advanced method of meditation, which we'll get into later. You don't even have to be sitting with your eyes closed. You can have them open, or you can be walking around, even walking through the street and still counting your breath. So that's a lot harder. So I suggest to get some practice with sitting with the eyes closed first, but we'll get into some other techniques later. Thank you so much for meditating with me. I really believe meditation is more powerful together, and I hope that this has been helpful for you. Feel free to share and write a comment if you have any questions. Also, I did an interview with Dr. Grace Bullock, who wrote Mindful Relationships, and I'll link that as well. So if you're interested in more information on meditation, she's a fantastic expert. Until next time, namaste.